I creamed some butter. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to take flour, baking powder, and a little pinch of salt, and I'm going to sift that and aerate the flour a little bit. 2 reasons why I do this. 1, to aerate the flour, makes it a little poofy. 2, you see all those little lumps like that? You don't want to have that in your cake batter. Next thing, once the butter gets nice and soft, you should leave the butter out room temperature anyhow. Once it gets nice and soft, what we got to do, and I tell folks this, you got to scrape down the bowl. Very, very important. So, not only do I do that, nice and soft, you want to get the sides, the bottom. Perfect. Now, I want to cream the sugar. So I'm going to put the sugar in. I don't want to get sugar all over these ladies over here, you know what I mean? Brown sugar, granulated sugar. Now we're going to cream that together with the butter. You might notice I've got 3 different cake pans. It's quite a volume of cake that we have because I want a lot of layers. So I got a standard cake pan that I've buttered, and I've also put a little parchment. Once the sugar gets creamed, so we're going to add the sour cream now. See how that's starting to come together? Now I want to add the vanilla. And I want to add 1 egg at a time. We want to scrape this down. You want to have 0 problems. See, look at this. Oh, boy. Now comes the fun part. Now it's all incorporated. We're going to get that going again. I got cocoa and I got chocolate, semi-sweet chocolate. Going to combine them. Hot water. Not boiling. Hot enough to melt the chocolate and dissolve the cocoa. If you're worried about using this sort of little paddle, you can always just go get a little baby whisk like that, you know. So, the next 2 ingredients, we're going to turn this off right now. Next 2 ingredients, we're going to add all the dry ingredients, not while the machine is running. I wouldn't do that to you ladies. Could you imagine that? Just, oh. See how thin of a batter this is? That's what I was telling you about how we want to get enough volume out of this. This is going to be enough for 3 cake pans. 350 degrees, about 20, 22 minutes. If you insist on sticking a toothpick in there, go ahead. It should come out clean, they say. Who invented that? Anyhow, all right. For the devil's food cake, I was talking about buttercream. Oh. So here it is. I got some egg yolks in here. I'm going to add a little bit of vanilla. And then slowly, I'm going to knock the machine back down. Soft butter. We're going to start adding. Well, it's a buttercream, folks. All right, we're going to totally start incorporating this butter, and it's going to get all nice. Then I'm going to make another simple syrup with sugar and water, dissolve it on the stove, and that's going to go in there. And then the whole key to a great buttercream is to getting volume. So this is almost going to come to the top of the bowl. It's going to take maybe 15, 20 minutes. The buttercream, round and around and around and around and around, about 40 minutes. You know, you've been there, right? The cakes, let them cool, the cakes on a cake rack. And what I do is I just start that buttercream with a little cake, using a palette knife like this. If you don't think you have enough in there to just kind of push it, or just add a little bit more. And that's what I was telling you earlier about the heat. Even here in the studio with all the lights, it's tricky. Then we take another cool layer. It's so moist and dense and chocolatey. You got to push it down. Oh, yeah, babe. Now I get a little messier. And I'll show you why. I get a little bit more because now I'm going to start icing and pushing it to some of the sides a little bit now. Okay? Then, the next layer. Oh. Can you imagine walking into someone's house with this? They just asked you over for a little potluck. You got the magical dessert card, and here you come, waltzing in with a devil's food cake. Wow. Oh, yeah, babe. So now, the thing is going to be gone in 3 minutes. But I do want to get a little bit of the sides like this. So, a little potluck action, huh? Woo! All right, so here's always the trick of this cake. Cutting it. So, my recommendation is at this point, you get it all nice and decorated. Put it in the ice box. That would be the refrigerator. Let that buttercream just get a little solid again, which mine's not. So, who knows what's going to happen? You just get a little wedge of this. Okay? Oh, yeah. Oh. If I was going to Sally's, I'd bring some extra buttercream with me. I just go like that. Oh, yeah. See the inside of that, folks? Look at that. Huh? Doesn't that look great? Now, what you could do is you could, if you want to get fancy over at Sally's, you could bring a little cocoa powder like this, but go easy, especially if she has a pet. And then what you could do is just kind of bam, 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 bam. Just kind of a few bams.